Hello and welcome to the second episode of Season 11. I'm Thomas Blankenship.
And this is TJ Lee.
In this episode, we have videos ranging from the swim state meet,
The All-State District Band Program,
the football team,
the L-Life Food Pantry,
how the LTCC participates in the parade every year,
and Mr. Jackson from the choir department.
Up next on the Hive, we're taking a look at what the swim team has accomplished this year.
It was a big event. We trained to have our best times at the state meet, and it worked out well that way. We participated in 4 invitationals and did really well. We had our relay teams. We finished, the relay teams finished the highest. The relay teams, the 2 that we could swim, our best swimmers in, finished the highest. The 3rd relay, where the other 4 swimmers swam their best times that they ever swam, even though they finished 32nd. They performed really, really well. And finishing 32nd in the entire state, still a pretty good achievement. I think the swim team did really, really well this year. They worked really hard, and they just had 2 really good role models. Noah Long, Dakota Windsor, really worked hard. They pushed the team, pushed their teammates, and they were really, really good swimmers. And we had a really great year. Everyone worked really hard, and it showed at the state meet. At the state meet, 7 of the 8 swimmers swam, and every swimmer who swam had a personal best time by at least 2 seconds. I mean, it was just phenomenal how well they all improved their personal best times. It wasn't over the season. These were top times for them all time. I mean, it was just an awesome swim meet. It's really great to see the guys do that. The boys worked hard, and 4 years ago we were barely making considerations times. Now we were. It was a thrill going into the state meet for the relays being ranked 9th, 10th, and 11th, and to finish 5th and 8th in those relays. And then Dakota was ranked 9th, and he finished 5th. And it was just great to see everyone improve their times and finish. It was truly awesome at how well they did. Dakota wound up getting 4 medals. He got 2 medals for relays and 2 individual medals. Matthew wound up getting 3 medals. Dakota medaled in the 100 butterfly and 100 breaststroke, and the 200 free relay and the 200 medley relay. Matthew placed in the 100 free, and he medaled in the relays. And then Noah Long and Avery Long medaled in the relays. And those are our placeholders. Avery, Aiden Carr, and Tristan Presley participated in the 400 free relay and finished 32nd. And they were all state qualifiers. Caden Roberts also qualified as part of the 400 free relay, but Avery Long was able to swim 3 relays because he didn't qualify in an individual, so he swam the 4th leg that Caden normally would swim. He had a faster time, so you swim your 4 fastest that you have. But he played an important role. He was my assistant coach, writing down everybody's time so I could pay attention to what the swimmers were doing. So he filled a critical role while we were doing that. It was a very exciting swim meet, and I was really proud of how well they did. And we wound up finishing 12th. Which is really an accomplishment, and it's the highest the school's ever finished. Dakota's places in his individual events were the highest any swimmers ever finished in school history, so it was pretty historic for us.
We had a lot of achievements, especially towards the end of the season. I won conference, won SWOMO, placed top 8 in all my events at state. The team did overall good. We placed top 5 at conference and SWOMO, and I believe top 10 at state. My goal was to medal in all 4 events when we got there. We went in finals knowing that we were going to do that, as long as we stayed and didn't DQ. I was feeling pretty ecstatic. My freshman year, I just missed finals by half a second. Sophomore year, got cut off in a one-day meet, and we didn't have the opportunity to do finals, so it's pretty excited. I was just excited, glad with how I performed. The 100 breast, 100 fly, 200 medley relay, and 200 free relay. So the 200 medley relay, I swam the 2nd leg of 50 breast. I swam a PR in that time and swam the 2nd fastest time in the meet in that leg. The 200 free, I anchored, and we were within the 2nd of being 8th, and I ended up closing the gap to just a couple tenths.
A few of the students from the Lebanon Band Program auditioned for all-district band, and then some went on to state band. Up next, these talented students tell their story on how they achieved their place in that band.
I love to play my instrument, and I like to have a challenge while playing it, so I decided it'd be a good idea to try out for districts. Maybe it'll give me a bigger challenge in my musical life.
I played the clarinet, and one thing that inspired me was I want to become a band director when I'm older, and so I want to be able to be one of the top players so that I can help my students someday also become some of the top players.
Other than a lot of practicing. I mostly just have to get myself ready mentally because it's very stressful.
It was pretty early into the year. Whenever I first got here after I moved, they gave us the district packet for music. I played clarinet. It was a lot of scales. We had 2 etudes, arpeggios.
It took a lot of practicing to get to where I am right now. It also helps that I have people around me who help me get to where I am.
So I've been playing the French horn since before 6th grade, and I was always just kind of expected to try out for district band and stuff like that. So when I made it into district band, I just kept going into state.
Some challenges for getting ready to audition would be just the practicing part. It's very tedious to practice doing a scale over and over again. And while doing it, I guess the nerves, because there's a lot of people.
Some of the challenges are just nervousness, trying to get past the jittery stage of not knowing if you're going to make it or not.
Practicing things over and over again often gets really frustrating, and I get really busy, and then I end up practicing my French horn late at night, which is not always fun. Also, auditions give me really bad anxiety, and this year is the first year that I wasn't shaking during my state audition.
Before I did my audition, I was there almost every day after school. About 3 or 4 weeks before the audition, before that, I went there every so often.
3 to 4 days after school, I make sure to practice my horn or have a lesson with Brennan.
I usually only do a lesson maybe once a week. I usually don't stay after school, I just practice at my house.
Up next, the football team and how they almost made the state championships. Let's move right into the video, shall we?
Groups that I want to be sure that I thank for really what was an incredible football season that we're all very blessed that we were able to be a part of. The unbelievable senior class. You know, as I stand here right now inside this locker room, I get emotional thinking about the fact that we're graduating 20 plus seniors that no longer will be in this locker room. That's the way it is every year. There's a finality to activities at the high school level when you're a senior, and this class represented us and our core values in every single way. They'll be very much missed and carried the torch for this program the right way, and they're passing it off to future classes the right way, in which I know those classes will do the rightful coaching staff. We have one of the best coaching staffs in the state of Missouri. They work tirelessly. They do the right things, and they commit themselves with a vision and a mission of not caring who gets the credit as long as our program is successful, and they do just an unbelievable job. You know, I want to thank our parents are the most important assistant coaches that we have in this program. The people that our kids go home to every single day, and their support can't be measured. We have the best parents, and we so appreciate everything that they do.
My burger? Well, there's not much that we did different. We just kept on working, and a lot of people motivate me and my teammates throughout the year to help us get to where we are now and how our season went. Defensive Player of the Year for the Ozark Conference, and it's an amazing award, and I'm really thankful for all the coaches and all my teammates that helped me get it and work along the way. And just keep up the hard work, and if you don't do anything, then you won't have any result. But if you keep on going, and then you'll have a good result, and do what your coaches say and keep working hard.
Great community. We get outstanding support in so many different ways from this community, and none of this would be possible without that support. So obviously not the conclusion that you want from the 2021 season from Friday night. You know, in athletics, only one team is going to end victorious, and that's the state championship team. And obviously that's where we want to be. We're not there yet, but we're going to continue to battle. We're going to continue to work hard.
Next up, we see what some local volunteers are doing to help the less fortunate in our community by providing food to those in need.
I started about 3.5 years ago. We had moved back to Missouri. I'd spent most of my life here, But we moved away for about 3 years, came back, and that's, I think, a really good way to connect to the community. I'd spent about 3 years prior to that in Ohio volunteering at a food pantry, so I came here, found Life. Sure, we can, volunteers can come in. We have a short application that we'd like to get some information from you, but we need volunteers all the time. We're open Mondays through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We do distributions on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 2, and pretty much any time. Our biggest needs are the Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 2, especially with carry-out help with the boxes. We're giving sometimes up to 50 and 60 pounds of food to each and every family that comes in. So yeah, anytime somebody wants to come in and stop by, we can definitely use the help. So there's about 16% of the families in Laclede County who are food insecure, who don't get 3 meals a day. That's roughly about 5,600 people, individuals that live in our town and in our county that need our help, and we're just here to help them out. We don't judge them if they're going through a hard time, but I mean, it's a pretty large population when you think about 5,600 people that aren't able to have 3 meals a day every day. So yeah, we're just here to help them out, and anybody who's having a rough time, maybe don't have a roof over their heads, they can come in and we can get them a box to help them through the week or whatever. So we have 4 primary things that we focus on. One, people have to meet certain income guidelines. If they're 150% or more under the federal poverty level, they can sign up and come in every 2 weeks. They just have to be in Laclede County. We also have a senior box program where we service 100 low-income senior families. They get a box of commodities and cheese once a month. We also serve homeless population, which apparently it's a growing trend in our area. They can come in once a week and get a food bag from us. We try to make sure it's all pop tops and you can open, so that way in case they don't have utensils or anything else to do that. And then also we have emergency box services. So somebody has a fire or something, they can come in and get some emergency boxes. And if their situation persists, maybe they've lost a job or something, then we can get them signed up and get them on that every 2 weeks as well.
Next up, we check out Skills USA and how the LTCC participates in Lebanon's most attended event of the year, the annual Christmas Parade.
My name is Tyler Hemphill. I'm the Automotive 1 instructor here at Lebanon Technology and Career Center. I think with what time we had available, to work on the float, and with the COVID conditions that we've had this year, I think that we did pretty decent. And everything went well and smoothly.
This year we had little issues with the float because this is our first year being able to get back into building a float due to COVID. We were out for a couple years. We had some low participation, so we ended up dropping back, punting, using our local shop truck and incorporating the Christmas tradition of gathering a Christmas tree. So we had students dressed up like a mother and a father and young kids. We had a Christmas tree in the back of the truck like they just went to the woods and picked it up, and the kids decorated it, and we throwed out $300 or $400 worth of candy and had a good time. Right now, in this current year, we are actually getting ready to host district contests in our building. We have about 9 different schools that'll be sending students. Each program will get to showcase their trade and vie for getting first in districts and moving on to state.
Lastly, we take a look at Mr. Jackson and how he makes his students better vocalists.
So as I'm working with my students, I make sure that we have a daily routine that we stick to pretty much all the time that really emphasizes the fundamentals of music making, whether that be singing technique or fundamentals of music like reading music. We do that every day, and over the course of the year, the students become progressively better. So over the summer, I will start planning some of our big events, particularly the concerts that we have 4 times a year. I have a couple pieces that I just know that I really want to do with a particular group, either because I know that I will be very successful with them, the students will be very successful with those pieces, and things that they can learn from too. And then I kind of fill other things in as I need to go so that we have a nice balanced program and the students are exposed to a wide variety of music throughout the year. I was inspired to be a choir teacher by my own choir teacher in high school. She's been a great mentor and friend over the past many years at this point. Still in pretty regular contact with her. And hey, what she did made me want to do what I do. I did not have plans to teach band. I was not in band when I was in high school. As part of my college education, though, I was required to do about a year of band. So I do have a little bit of band experience, and I've directed bands just on a temporary basis a few times, but I have no desire to teach them on any kind of full-time basis. It was just not a thing that I did.
Thank you for joining us for
this episode of The Hive.
Join us next time for another exciting episode.
This is Thomas Blankenship
and TJ Lee
signing off.